just gonna jump in the seat. This is what this feels like. Yeah, this is definitely gonna hurt.
I'm not gonna ask you any questions. You're very good at the questions, so you already have
That's
that.
fair. For what it's worth, I did not get to spend a lot of time with Grant. But what I remember with him most were our conversations. The only thing I remember the most was about how deep and how willing he was to dive in and like have the hard topic conversations. And it's funny because as I've reflected with a lot of people and had the opportunity to sit on that side and like listen, like I realized that a lot of the frameworks that I have built, even, you know, podcast off of, or just some of the things that I am seeking in the way I want to communicate with people, a lot of it stemmed from our conversations. Just because before I moved here, you know, I had a lot of thoughts about what the Midwest was going to be like. I had my assumptions. I moved to Sheldon, Iowa from Las Vegas, Nevada. So I moved to the smallest town, one of the smallest towns, well, definitely not the smallest, but one of the smallest towns in the Midwest, here in South Dakota or Iowa. And then I moved to Sioux Falls because of the art. And I had said that Sioux Falls was in a renaissance, it felt like. And then I started meeting those people who were the adventurers of that renaissance. And he was one of them, because it was a person I could come here, have a drink with, and talk about just unbelievably outlandish topics that seemed outlandish at the time. Because you're like, well, what are boundaries? Or like, you know, why is it hard to talk about these things? Or, you know, why can't we talk about, what was it, one of them where it was like, why can't we talk about religion, politics, and these things openly? Like, why can't we have those conversations? But, you know, the way he was willing to be open about it wasn't very judgmental. And that's another thing that I don't remember ever seeing, was like, he wasn't very judgmental. It was very like trying to understand what you mean or where you were coming from, and then, you know, sharing his thoughts on it. And it was just a great discourse, a great conversation. And, you know, that is, I think, the thing that I was left with was like how to have good conversations with people, what that looks like, what a good conversation can do in helping people find themselves. And was having a conversation with one of the other guys that came in, and it was that when you were done talking with him, you felt like you could climb a mountain. You felt like you could accomplish anything after talking to him, because it's like, yeah, why aren't you doing that? Like, man, get to it. You've got this. You can do it. And then you were driven by seeing some of the things that he's doing. You're just like, how? Well, yeah, okay, I guess I can. But unfortunately, that is about the depth, and, you know, realizing this was like a person I wish I had more time with. And it sucks to say that, and I don't mean that negatively. I think this is my opportunity to connect with the people who did, and hear from them, and understand who that person was. Because, yeah, it's like some of those people you just felt like you didn't have enough time with, because I have that. But here we are. So, yeah, if I had anything I could say to Grant, it would be thank you. It would be thank you as well. I would be grateful and thank the person, thank him for his willingness to be open and be himself and show us what that looked like, to not be afraid of being you 100% and not giving a fuck about what other people thought, as it had already been expressed by one of his close friends. Yeah, just knowing that it is okay to be you and fucking thrive in creativity and just be happy that you are building. Cheers.
It was just a picture made of wood. And your hands and knees felt cold and wet in the grass and me. Well, I started naked, shivering, looking good from the cold sunlight that's a prison on the moon. And then come angels fly around you, reminding me we used to be three and not just two in the south. The world began. That's how the world will end.
Everything that keeps me together is falling apart. I got this thing that I consider my only art of fucking people over.